But I want to bring my son Cam McDaniel on the phone and on the Zoom. And Cam's going to tell you, because Cam also does a therapy with therapeutic devices. And like I said, he's been a professional athlete, a Division I running back at Notre Dame. He's got an incredible history, and he knows the human body more than many scientists know the human body. So with that said, I'm gonna let Cam tell you what's recently happened to one of his athletes that he has been treating. So Cam, come on here and introduce yourself and tell them what you told me a while ago.
Hey everyone. Yeah, more than happy. This testimony with my buddy Luke Carney is really special. He's a talented young quarterback out of the DFW Metroplex. He's committed to the University of Syracuse and breaking all sorts of Texas high school football records as one of the winningest quarterbacks of all time. And I was fortunate enough to be able to start working with him at the end of last season, and then also his older brother, who is a middle distance runner and sprinter at Arkansas. And I ended up getting his older brother on the patches, X39, X49, carnosine, ice wave. That was kind of the regiment that I had his older brother on, to help him get through a foot injury this last spring, as he was the fastest 800-meter runner as a freshman in the SEC last year. And then this last testimony with Luke was really special to me because his diagnosis was really bleak. He went to the doctor and they said, "You got a torn UCL." That's what a lot of people call gamekeeper's thumb. And as a quarterback on your dominant throwing hand, that's not a great diagnosis. So essentially, the doctor said probably going to do surgery and then 6 to 8 weeks recovery, likely to come back. So I ended up using my traditional therapy with electrotherapeutics, but I told him, hey, you need to get on these patches, man. You have to be taking the X39, X49, carnosine, and Aeon. And I gave him the regimen on how to do it. I said, X39, I just want you to put on the back of your neck exactly where it tells you to put it, okay? Like, that's the most important one. That's the foundation for everything that we do with this company and using that technology. The second one's going to be X49, and you're going to put that right over your heart, essentially your heart meridian, like that neuroendocrine system. It's going to turn everything on with your stem cells, especially with your cardiovascular system. And then the next one was carnosine. I told him to wear that during the day. And there's a meridian point. If you take your three fingers, pointer finger at the base of the palm here, and your ring finger is going to touch right on that meridian point. I told him to put it right over there. And then at night, he used Aeon. So he switched out carnosine for Aeon at night and used that at night. 3 weeks after that injury occurred, he was in my office this last week, and he was doing push-ups on his fingertips with incredible strength. He hasn't missed a game since that time that we started working with him, and his coaches can't believe like what's going on with him right now. His dad is absolutely blown away. He was if you're a dad that has an athlete,
Yeah.
you know what that feels like. His son was on the verge of breaking all sorts of records, and they thought that this was going to take him out for the season. And he's been able to overcome and is having a tremendous season and is about to break all those records.
And so we're talking about like he this happened 4 weeks ago, and he has not missed a high school football game. And the doctor said you're going to need surgery. And he's played every game, and he's still on the verge of breaking many high school, really Texas high school records right now. This is a record-breaking quarterback.
Yeah. I think the record that he's going after this week is Shadir Sanders' all-time winningest Texas high school football quarterback record. So um, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure exactly, but I believe that's the record that he's going after. It's a remarkable testimony. I've seen this over and over with elite athletes that
Yeah.
I've used the patches with, my brother included. Um, that's why I've been enthusiastic to share it with every young aspiring athlete that I come in contact with.
Yeah.
It's just goes hand in hand with everything that I do now. And because it is that that frequency-based technology, essentially, like using the body's own systems to heal itself, it fits right into my ethos of how I desire to work with and partner with athletes to collapse their healing timeline and their recovery.
Since you're here, let's just go ahead and just try to be quick with it. But let's talk about TJ for a second, because one is we're not trying to upsell you and get you to buy a bunch of stuff tonight. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is, like, when you hear a story like this, everybody wants to know, how did it happen? What did you do? What exactly did you do? Guys, if all you ever used was the X39 patch, which I'm going to tell you about, the X39 is sufficient for the human body. But when you have a parent, there's like me and my wife, which obviously is this kid's parents, you're willing to do whatever it takes. And there's no, when a parent has a whatever it takes mentality, there might be extra things that they're willing to purchase or do. I mean, they'll fly to California to get some kind of treatment. And so surely they'll buy 4 sets of patches and you throw the kitchen sink at it. So that's the thing. But like what happened last year with, my son TJ, his little brother, in September, just a little over a year ago, TJ had the same kind of injury, but it was his big toe. He dislocated his big toe, 3rd-degree tear, and that tore that tendon. What's it called?
It was an anterior deltoid ligament.
Yeah, underneath his toe, tore it. The team doctor said, you need surgery. You need to be in a boot right now. You're going to miss the rest of the season, and you may come back in the spring. And he said, no, thank you. I won't wear your boot, and I'm not going to get surgery. And I know exactly what I need to do. And so he trusted his brother's protocols for treatment, along with these 4 patches. He put an X39 on every day. He put an X49 on. At night, actually, he wore the X49 and carnosine near his toe, near his big toe. He wore near his big toe every night. So you use these 2 for the tissue repair, and for wound healing. And then he wore Eon every night as well.
Yeah.
On his ankle. And so that was his protocol. And he was back in 4 weeks, and he was running full speed in 5 weeks. And he never wore a boot. And so it's pretty amazing what can happen to the human body when you allow it to do what God designed it to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just to add on to what my dad said, it's kind of like any offer. When you have this is the offer, X39 is the offer. And then everything else is just a bonus. And it is a bonus. It's an additional bonus that every little fractional thing that you can do to collapse the healing timeline is what elite athletes are looking for. And so when that opportunity presents itself, I always start with X39. And if people are like, I want to do whatever it takes to get back, I'll give them the full protocol. A lot of times these elite athletes they're looking for that. They're looking for everything that they can do to get that competitive edge. And these things don't disappoint. I've had positive feedback from every athlete that I've worked with in this. And I am enthusiastic to just continue to use them. All right.